sewer rehab phase 2, as y'all know, we had the steel street patching that needs to be corrected. Talked to Ambulance Construction, was a low bidder on that. They intend to move in Thursday, although I believe last time I looked, it was about 70 or 80% chance of rain Thursday, so we're trying to play that one by ear. But they intend to have it finished sometime by the end of next week. The airport improvements are now substantially complete. It's entered into the 45-day lien-free period. There are a couple of punch list items that need to be corrected. As I understand from speaking to Amethyst, they intend to correct those as they come in to correct the street the Steel Street patches. The industrial park street improvements, 2011 street improvements, and 2011 G street improvements, I'd like to postpone that for just a minute. We had talked last month about the RV park, and we went back and forth on it. I'm not sure that we have ever decided on a location for the RV park. For that reason, I believe that it's best if we postpone submitting a funding application on it until we've had a chance for everybody to have their say and decide what's best for the city and what's best for everyone involved, to make sure that this is something that the city has full knowledge of going into, and that everybody's had a chance to really vocalize what their concerns are with the RV park. We had talked about submitting an application for April 1st. After going back and looking at the cooperative endeavor agreement between the city and the parish regarding the activity center, the arena, the city does not have to begin on the RV park until 3 years after the date that construction begins on the arena. As I understand it, that's not going to be any time within the next couple of months at least. So the city does have time in order to get funding in place for that. Does anybody have any questions or any concerns or comments that they'd like to make mention about the RV park?
I'll make this comment. If you just want to hear a comment, to have it near the all-purpose pavilion or facility is probably the best place for it. Rather than away from it, people are going to have their horses there. I've never bought a horse, but you know, from $5 to probably $50,000. I don't know what horses cost, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to want to leave it there and drive somewhere else. So anyway, for what it's worth, that's the place that I think it should be.
And I agree with you to a certain extent, because there's a lot of benefits and pros and cons for each and every one of them. And I'd like to have it, give everybody a chance to weigh in. At some point, we probably need to have a public hearing to decide, invite public comment on that. And that's something we could probably look for in the next couple of months to do. And just get everybody's opinion on the table, see exactly, so that we're making an informed decision about where we place it, and make sure that it's the best benefit that the city of Winnsboro can get out of for the money that they're putting into this. Yes.
When until we make that decision, then you really can't ask for funds, can you?
No, sir, not now. And like I said, the application deadline is April 1st. We're probably to the point now where even if we do tonight where we're going to put the park, it would be very difficult to get an application put together for the next couple of weeks. And this is an annual application that can be done on April 1st next year, or we might look at another funding source. Capital outlays another good source of funding for some projects such as this. So we're not limited to just this funding source, or need to have everything done by next month.
Thank you.
Are there any questions about the RV park or any of the other items I covered real briefly?
What were the areas that Amethyst is going to come back and fix at the airport that they missed?
There was one. They had to install the conduit below ground across at the gate for the automatic gate. They had to tear up the asphalt there. They're going to come back in and fix that. There was one other item and it escapes me. I believe it was some cleaning up and seeding around the airport. Some of the areas that before they got seed on it, it washed out. They need to do some final grading and seeding around the unpaved areas. I believe those were going to Skipper. Do you think anything was all right. With that being said, the three street projects, I spoke with LCBG, which we've been waiting for the past couple of months on LCBG to approve the plans and specs which were submitted before we went and authorized advertising for bids. I spoke with them. They expect to have the letter out to us authorizing us to advertise within the next couple of weeks. Rather than wait until the next month's meeting, and I apologize that I wasn't able to get this on the agenda. I was a little bit late getting home from Mr. Robinson. But rather than waiting to postpone this till next month, we can go ahead and authorize advertisement on all 3 street projects now. That way, whenever we get the letter, we're able to go ahead and authorize advertisement. Might save us a couple of weeks on the back end. Is what I was hoping for. It will need to be, y'all need to vote to approve, add it to the agenda, and then also vote on the resolution. But do y'all have any questions about the street improvements project? I updated my costs, and those are included in the resolutions, the engineer's estimate. It's $450,000 for the 2011 streets, and that includes all costs. That's total project cost, including contingencies. For the industrial park streets, it's a total project cost of about $426,000, $427,000. 316 of that is being put up by capital outlay funds. So the city's only responsible for about $110,000. Also, the LCBG project is about $840,000 total. 600 of that is coming in through CDBG grant funds. But those are based on my updated cost estimates. Do y'all have any questions about the street improvement projects? Hopefully, we'll be starting construction sometime mid-May.
Been properly moved as we add to the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Can we motion to advertise to do it? We're going to do all of them at one time, or got to do them together?
As far as I'm concerned, you can do them all at once, but I'm not having further proceedings.
I don't have a number on it.
They weren't added as resolutions to the agenda, so they haven't been numbered.
I'm not looking to move forward. Advertise to bid. Yeah, advertise to bid, that's what we're trying to do. I'm not looking to advertise to bid on all 3 projects.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Been properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item number 7. PAAC ban on roadside sale of animals.
Mayor and Councilman, thank you so much for allowing us to come tonight. My name is Rita Tucker, and I'm president of an organization by the name of PAC, PAAC of North Louisiana. Our organization stands for People Against Animal Cruelty, which is what PAC stands for. We organized last year basically to tackle the issue of sale of animals on the side of the road, which was rampant in Ouachita Parish and the surrounding areas. These people pitch tents or whatever, just on any parking lot they're allowed to, and they are basically supplied by puppy mills. Now, I believe you've gotten a handout on the Humane Society of the United States printout on what puppy mills are. They stack puppies. They never see the light of day. There's no socialization. They have no vet care. 9 times out of 10, the breeder will say, well, you know, I've immunized the puppy, the regular shots. They're not normally registered through, in fact, never are registered from puppy mills through AKC or any other organization in this area that is reputable. The parents are kept in squalor, and these roadside sales, they just go every weekend. We have been successful in getting this banned in Monroe, Western Road, Sterlington, Bastrop, Morehouse Parish, Lincoln Parish, Ruston, Rayville, Union, Farmerville, and Richmond Parish. They're gonna come if they're not here. Those northern parishes have all seen the importance of banning this because of the cruel treatment that the parents of the puppies receive. They're not always, the puppies are not always healthy. You see a cute little cuddly puppy on the side of the road. While their puppies are the normal offering, there are plenty of other, they may do kittens or rabbits or something like that. They take them to the vet, they bonded with the animal, they find out, terrible health problems because of all the inbreeding and the constant breeding and the conditions that they're kept in. This also adds to the euthanasia rates. The West Monroe Animal Shelter in 2011 euthanized 5,500 animals. This just exacerbates that problem. It affects businesses, it affects Winnsboro's appearance, the appearance of the town. People come to town whether they're looking to locate a new business here or looking to move here for some reason or the other. Their job has them coming here, and they see, the first thing they see when they hit the city limits is somebody with a tent pitched over here selling puppies. Well, the puppies look great, but that's no way the breeder sells on the side of the road. They just don't do it. The puppies sell for anywhere from $250 to $500. Recently, there have been the breeds that they have been selling have sold for $1,000 a piece. They're not paying Winnsboro any sales tax. Small business, I have a small jewelry business in addition to my paralegal job. And I have to pay state tax, and when I do a show, I have to pay whatever parish tax that is. If you've got your catfish festival coming in pretty soon, those vendors inside the gate pay a fee to have that food. These people pitch tents on the outskirts, and they get the benefit of the traffic that comes in, and somebody goes, oh yeah, so-and-so's been wanting a puppy, or the kid throws a fit for a puppy, and why would you say, well, people will spend $500 for a moment. Some people do. And, you take that puppy to the vet, and the vet says, well, he's got this problem and that problem and the other. But mainly also is the condition in which the parents of the puppies are kept. These breeders will offer to bring you the dog for your convenience. And the truth of the matter is they don't want you on the property. They don't want you asking to go in and see their facility. A reputable breeder has no problem with that. A reputable breeder will take you in and say, this is where I breed. I, breed my animals once a year, which is the norm for breeders. These people breed a female dog every time it comes in cycle. And that cuts down on not only the life of the female dog in addition to the horrendous conditions they have to live, but you can just imagine how they feel after all that. One example of inbreeding and birth defects and that type of thing is the young lady who bought a dog at the price of $500. Cute little dog, took it to the vet. Its soft spot was open. The vet told her it would never close. It was a birth defect. If it got the slightest little bump on its head, it could kill it. And that's just a classic example of the type of puppies and kittens or whatever that they turn out because of the inbreeding and so forth. If you pass this ban, not only does it help your city as far as looks and everything else, because when they will come more than one, believe me, because they a lot of times are in league with each other and they sell each other's crop, cash crop, which is what they consider it, not living, breathing animals. But if it's passed, it will force them to sell from their homes as opposed to on the side of the road. That way, people who are prospective buyers, number one, they'll have to advertise, the breeders will. The buyers can go and insist on seeing the facility. They can see vet records if there are any. Most of them purport to give their own vaccinations. But like I say, they're not. They'll give you a list of what they have, but frankly, in my experience, I wouldn't trust any of them's word on that. But they can, people can can see if there are any records, they can get a copy of those and they can, check it out. They can also see, like I said, where the parents live. I have, in my own experience, a little dog that I rescued who was from a puppy mill. She was, when I picked her up, I actually picked her up from the westernmost shelter where she had been dumped with 9 others. And she was a breeding mother, and when I picked her up, she was 3 pounds and 2 ounces. She had heartworms. She had bladder stones. She had the worst case of ear mites my vet has ever seen. She has a deformed foot. She had almost no hair on her body and none on her tail. And she was skin and bone. You could see her bone in her body. That was a year and 6 months ago. At 3.2 pounds, they were still breeding her. She now is a little over 8 pounds and got a full coat of the most gorgeous hair you've ever seen because she's been well taken care of. She's had her heartworms treated, all of her physical things. She's still having some bladder problems, as you can expect, having been bred. But she's doing very well now, and this is what, and this is not the worst case scenario of what comes from a puppy mill. Getting any better would make me want to go ballistic, but getting any worse would make me want to go ballistic, which that did. And you have to see her now to understand how far she's come. This ban would not cause the city to be to have any budget type things. If you ban this, then you set as copies, I believe Nina Bennett, our secretary, is with me, and Ellen Higgs, our vice president. And Nina sent out a couple of resolutions, one from Sterling, one from Monroe, that you have copies of, which is a model. Everybody's kind of, done their model after the initial ones. The parishes have kind of taken into consideration the parish stuff. And it wouldn't be any additional cost to the city. You set your fine if they violate. They're fined, possible jail time, depending on what their infractions of the rules are, and that's about it. Do I have Nina? Ellen, want to add anything?
The only other thing is the fines that you could charge the offenders, could go into the city coffers, or they could go toward the animal rescue groups that you have in this area. They're trying to do something to help the animals in this area. So that would be a possibility of the use of the fines or penalties that you charge them. But they're coming. We've run them out of all the parishes that we had listed a while ago, and I got a call 2 weeks ago. He had driven, or one of them had driven all the way from West Monroe to Winfield to set up shop. That's in Wynn Parish. That's 45.
That's a long way.
Well, it's 60 miles, I think, from West Monroe. And that's how desperate they are. They're trying to sell these puppies anywhere they can.
And hoping they won't be able to afford the gas to do that when we get done.
And another animal group ran them off, called their city councilman and the mayor, and had them removed. So
we've been assured that, when some of these vendors have applied for the Catfish Festival and they've been turned down, thank you, Catherine. So the other is, Winnsboro, is the one parish that you always hear about. Winnsboro has found out that, they go out of their way to present their city in the best light. This is the cleanest town I've seen ever. And the American flag is flying, and the streets are clean, the trash is picked up, you take pride in your city. The fact of the matter is that these people that can come in on a Saturday and they sell 5 dogs at $500, they're not out anything. And there are several, I'm sure flower shops or restaurants that would love to make that on a Saturday and not pay any sales tax or permit fees or occupational licenses. And that's something to consider.
I did want to mention too, you have quite a few animal rescue, animal welfare groups in this area that are doing great work. I'm thrilled with what I'm hearing about the Winnsboro dog pound. There's been, you know, a tremendous outpouring of help as far as getting those dogs adopted so they don't have to be euthanized, because it's just really sad to know. I mean, I spend a lot of time at the Westernmost shelter, and it's heartbreaking to know that people don't, number one, they don't stay neuter their pets. They let them run free, and you have all these, we have enough problem without these people on the side of the road just breeding and putting more and more animals out into the public that, or a lot of them, you know, they have owner surrenders at the shelter because, well, I didn't realize this dog was going to have so many health problems. I just can't afford the vet bill. You know, I personally would, you know, see what my little one looks like now. And I'm, of course, I'm an advocate of adoption, but we can't adopt our way out of this situation. But we do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
A couple of states have addressed this issue. Hawaii, California, and I think there's some more. Have y'all made steps to take care of this legislation?
Actually, well, we had to, because of the fact that Washington Parish was not a home rule parish, we had to go through the legislature for the parish. Mike Walsford sponsored a bill. It was signed by the governor. It's being amended this session to include all parishes.
Hopefully this week.
Hopefully this week. And then there's also, there are also some animal welfare bills by the Humane Society of the United States. We've been in contact with them. They have several bills regarding different animal welfare issues, one of which is the roadside sales. But
well, this leads me to a follow-up question about that, because I know Walsford has Senate Bill number 260.
yes.
And as I read it, it's a very small bill. The bill is to allow all parishes or municipalities to give them the authority to place a ban. And it says right now, currently, Washita Parish is the only parish that has the authority to ban roadside sales, is what I've read. So can we really take these steps without the state legislature?
The towns can. Yes, it's the parish, to my understanding, the process that they've given us from the get-go. The parishes that are not home rule parishes have to go through the legislature. Lincoln Parish, Morehouse Parish, Union Parish, Richland Parish, did I leave any out? See, they had to request, Mike wanted them to request to be added to that bill. So that, we did not realize last year that had to be done. If we'd have, you know, circumvented that whole situation had we known that. But they have all submitted resolutions to be included in that amendment, that 260. So that amendment will amend the Washita Parish, which means all of those parishes will be on the books. And they're running them off as it is. I mean, the animal welfare people in those places, when they see one of the roadside sellers, they call the authorities and they're gone. So, as Nina said, you know, they're traveling to Winfield and they're going to be down here, but it's just the non-home rule parishes, as far as the process goes. The towns, from the get-go, I've understood, they told us the towns could do it on their own. They're not required to go through the legislature.
All the towns that we've been to have passed the ordinance and
Right.
made it effective immediately.
Right.
So city and parish.
Yeah, we have to do it separately.
Yeah, it's a different.
And there's actually this session of the legislature has 3 House bills that are being sponsored by Tony Leahy from South Louisiana. One of them deals with the conditions of an animal breeder's facility, how they can be caged and they need more exercise time, they need more space, outlawing wire bottom crates like chicken coops where they're stacked on top of each other. Vet records, and then exercise, I think I said exercise, excuse me. I think that's Bill 163. The 231 is actually a statewide ban of roadside animal sales, which would take care of it in the entire state, city or unincorporated areas of the parish. So
that
that's
number, I'm sorry.
231.
House bill.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And then there's a third one that has to do with dogs riding in the back of the trucks. I believe that's House Bill 676.
Right.
And they need to be crated if going over 40 miles per hour. But the main thing is a statewide ban and also improving the conditions of the puppy mill breed. Well, not all breeders are puppy mill breeders. We have no problems with people that are breeding to a standard of a breed or a sporting dog. But the designer dogs that are coming out, the inbreeding and the constant breeding of some of these puppy mills are putting unhealthy animals out there to the public. And by the time your grandchild has, bonded with a little puppy or kitten or whatever, and you find out it has a terminal illness or it has mental issues or whatever, that's heartbreaking for your children or anybody. It doesn't have to be a child. But you take it to the vet and you find out that it has a soft spot or it has mental problems or nerve issues. We had some American Eskimo puppies that were dumped at our Washita shelter that had no eyes. Because they had been bred and inbred and constantly bred to where the line had just deteriorated.
We also had a litter of dachshunds, 2 of which were blind and had no eyes.
We see all kinds of stuff, and it's because of indiscriminate breeding, people that can't afford to spay or neuter. We have programs in Northeast Louisiana. I'm a member of PAWS also, that can help spay and neuter for low-income families. We try our best with that. We try with our rescue and adoption programs. Ellen is with the Humane Society Adoption Center in Monroe by the airport. So we're all representative of the different animal groups. Of course, you have representatives here for your area groups too. And we're just trying to stop the number of animals that end up in the shelter being euthanized. 5,500 is a good number last year. The year before that, it was 6,027. The year before that, it was 6,600. We're doing better, but we're not doing great. It's not acceptable.
We just hope that the city of Winnsboro takes a preemptive strike and bans this. These folks from coming out to the town is too
beautiful to put up with that.
Exactly.
Can I get the animal people that are here just to stand up? I want to see. I think we've got a pretty good crowd of
Yeah, I am too.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Thank you. For coming over. We enjoyed it. It's been very enlightening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mayor,
Yes.
if I may, I've been asked more than one time because of who I am and what I do and how involved I am with the city animals, what is my opinion about the roadside sales ban. And I speak from personal experience to say that Tommy and I purchased an animal 2 different times for a specific purpose. And one was our squirrel hunting dog, which actually turned out to be my spoiled little lap dog. But the point is, he's very well bred. He is a registered rat terrier, black and tan rat terrier. And the other is a registered Ladner cur, which we purchased from Gilmer Lee here locally. The rat terrier, we went all the way to Calhoun to buy. And when we got over there that day, we had the first thing that we did to find a good dog for the purpose that we were looking for a dog to do was ask people who do that. The squirrel hunters know where the good squirrel hunting dogs are. The hog hunters know where the good hog hunting dogs are. The people who do that, the people who want a little, beautiful little well-bred Yorkie to sit in their lap know where to get a good dog. So word of mouth is so very important, and the people who just come in here on a weekend and have to resort to dropping a tailgate are transient. You don't know where they came from. You probably will never see them again. These ladies obviously know who they are and where they came from. But the general public does not know, and once they find out they have a problem, it's too late. But we went to speak just for a minute to our rat terrier. We went all the way to Calhoun, and when we